Well, Bill, thank you very much, and it's an honor to be with everybody. We are all fans of each other. It's 500 days. It went very quickly. I will say we're winning, and we're winning actually like never before. What's happened is, and I just literally sat through an economic briefing, and they say this is virtually the best time economically in the history of our country. The numbers are the best they've been, the job numbers and everything else. I mean, every statistic. We've created about $7 trillion in wealth since the election, and trillion is that's a lot of money. That's not a term you hear very often, and especially when it comes to our country, which was really heading in the wrong direction. As you know, if the other side won, I think instead of being up nearly 40%, we'd be down probably 40 or 50%. We were heading that way, and it was not a pretty direction. I just wanted to take a few minutes to update you on some of the really incredible numbers that we've all done together. None of it would have been possible without you and your support and your votes and your activism. We're all united by these values that are very special. And, everybody came out and they voted for Trump, and people said, well, they won't vote because they hadn't voted in years. Many great people hadn't voted because they never saw somebody that they wanted to vote for. And they definitely came out for us when we had our election, the big election day. And it's very important that they come out now for the midterm. Historically, they tend not to. They get a little complacent, I guess. Something happens and they tend not to. But it's going to be very important because they are angry. The other side is really, really angry. And they stoop to no lengths. It's an incredible thing that we're witnessing. They thought they were going to win an election, and they lost it by a lot. We had 306, and they had 223. I believe they had 223, and that's a lot in the Electoral College. That's a big victory. So it wasn't even close, and they don't know what happened, and they're trying to figure out. But they're energized, and not for good. They're energized for a lot of bad things to happen. So some of the things that we've done and put America first or make America great again, any way you want to do it. You see what we're doing with trade deals now. We're bringing our trade into focus because we have had people that have been missing in action, presidents missing, not just President Obama, but many presidents before him, missing in action on trade. China's run away with the wealth, a lot of the wealth of our country, and we're bringing it back now. The European Union and so many others have been just disastrous. And we're renegotiating our trade deals where they're going to be fair and equitable, which they haven't been. We've created 3.4 million new jobs since Election Day, including 330,000 manufacturing jobs. Unemployment is down to 3.8%, the lowest level since the turn of the century. Unemployment among African Americans is the lowest level in history. Never been below 7, and now it's substantially below. In fact, we're going to crack 6. It's the lowest in history. Same thing with Hispanic unemployment is the lowest in recorded history. Unemployment for women is down to 3.6%, which is the lowest. It just came out the lowest in nearly 65 years. I just saw that number for the first time just now. It just happened. Over 3 million people are off of food stamps. They went off of food stamps because they've got jobs. After years of stagnation and decline, wages are rising again. That hasn't happened in 20 years. If you remember during the campaign, I talk about the fact that people made more money years ago than they make now, and now they're working 2 and 3 jobs. Well, that's changing and changing fast. Small business optimism has reached its all-time highs, highest in recorded history. We just signed the biggest tax cut and tax reform in the history of our country. ANWR in Alaska is approved. That's the big fine that nobody could get approved all the way back, including Ronald Reagan, couldn't get it approved. It's now approved and getting ready to go. Obamacare, we had it done except for one vote, and that one vote was a very sad situation, thumbs down, but it was done. It was repealed and replaced, but we're going to get a very similar effect. We will have Obamacare, the individual mandate's already gone. We're coming out with 2 plans over the next 4 weeks for great health insurance at a very, very low cost. And we essentially have restructured and decimated Obamacare. It will be essentially gone. The biggest thing is individual mandate, where you were mandated to spend money for insurance and in order not to get it, basically health care not to get it. A ridiculous situation. So you had to pay not to have health care and not to pay for health care. That was no good to start off with. So we are going to do some great things on health care. We had it except for that one horrible vote at 3 o'clock in the morning. You remember that we all remember it well. We issued new policies to prevent taxpayer dollars from funding abortion services. That's a very big thing, and we just did that, as you know, and that was a very big thing. We had a record number of regulations eliminated in the history of our country. We've never, ever come close. In 1.5 years, we've been here for 1.5 years, or I guess we could be very precise, 500 days as of today. We've cut more regulations than any other president during the entire term of their office, whether it's 4 years, 8 years, or in one case, 16 years. We approved the Keystone Pipeline and the Dakota Access Pipelines, 48,000 jobs. We ended our war on beautiful clean coal, which is a great form of energy. We're the largest in the world, and why should we give it up? It's clean coal. What they can do with coal now is incredible about cleanliness. We withdrew from the job-killing Paris Climate Accord, which was costing the United States a fortune. We signed landmark VA accountability legislation, which has been tried for 35 years. Nobody could get it passed. Very, very difficult between civil service and the unions. We got it passed. Not only do we get it passed, it's all done. And now if somebody treats our veterans badly, or if they're stealing or any other thing, we could never fire them. We can fire them on the spot, like The Apprentice. We say, you're fired. They're gone. So that's VA accountability, a very, very hard thing. We have VA Choice coming up very soon, and I'll be signing that, I believe, in the very near future, probably Wednesday of this week. That's where a veteran is allowed to go see a doctor if he's waiting on line for 7 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 days. Can you imagine? You can't get to see a doctor. It would take, even if it took you 2 days, but they would wait on line for years, and then they'd die. They would die. They'd have a problem that could be easily fixed, and they'd be in line so long they'd end up being terminal. So we're signing, it's a very exciting thing to me. We're signing Veterans Choice on Wednesday. To me, that's a big one. We just signed the Right to Try. Right to Try is something that is extraordinary. That's experimental medicine where you couldn't use it. People were leaving the country. They'd go to South America. They'd go to Africa. They'd go to Europe. They'd go all over the world looking if they were terminally ill. Whereas we have drugs which are great promise, but they wouldn't allow them to be used until they were fully approved by the FDA. Now we have Right to Try, where you sign a waiver and you go out and you can use those drugs. And I wouldn't be surprised. Some of them are so promising. People will be able to live. We just signed that last week. We have a big one is $700 billion approved for our military, $716 billion next year, and $6 billion for work on opioids and the scourge that we have going on with opioids. But we have $700 billion approved for our military funding. That's going to rebuild our military, and $716 billion next year. We confirm more circuit court judges than any other new administration and soon it'll be any administration period. We confirmed Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. We withdrew from the horrible one-sided Iran deal, and that's already paying big dividends. They're starting to realize they better focus on their own country. It's having a big impact on the Middle East, amazing impact. We moved our U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, as you know, which says capital of Israel. We moved into the building already. It was going to take 10 to 20 years to build. We did it in 3 months. We took a building that we had. We fixed it. It was supposed to cost $1 billion, and we did it for less than $400,000. So we saved almost $1 billion on that one, and we saved billions of dollars on plenty of other things, too. We're renegotiating our disastrous trade deals right now. We're imposing tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum, and we're imposing tariffs on various industries and countries that have taken advantage of the United States. And we will be in a very strong position very soon. We don't want to be taken advantage of anymore. And we have started the wall. along the southern border. We have $1.6 billion approved for it. Now we're going for much more money. We're in great shape. We're building it in San Diego now, and it's going to start its trek throughout the area that we need it. We're going to need about anywhere from 600 to 700 miles of wall. It's a 2,000-mile stretch, but we're guarded by mountains and lots of other things that are frankly better than any wall you could build. But that's really good, and we have a big thing coming up next week called North Korea. And as you know, the other administrations did nothing, and we are doing a lot. So we're going to have a big meeting or summit next week with Kim Jong-un, and hopefully that will work out, and we'll make it successful, and we'll see how we do. But we're just starting. But this is something that should have been done for the last 25 years, and it wasn't. And it's a shame that it wasn't, frankly. It's really a shame. But we will handle it. It'll be taken care of. We've made more progress in the last couple of months than other administrations have made during their 4- and 8-year periods. So with that, that's all we've done, actually. I'm sorry to tell you that's all we've done, but I could go on for a lot longer. We'd have a lot of other things we could also talk about. But we really have to say that I have your back. You remember Hillary Clinton calling everybody deplorables. We were the deplorables. Well, the deplorables are we're the hot ones right now. They're all trying to figure out how do we get the deplorables on our side, right? So we're all deplorables together. I'll never forget making speeches and everyone's wearing, I am a deplorable. I love you, Mr. President, right? And we've never looked better. We've never looked brighter. The future has never looked better for our country. We have numbers that are unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Best time ever in the history of our country to find a job. So I just want to thank all of our people again. You know, we started this as Make America Great Again, and that's what we're doing. And we're doing it, I would say, faster than ever before. We've really done something very special. It's faster than ever before. One of the pundits said that Trump has actually made campaign promises, but he's actually done more than he promised. And he said that might be the only time I've ever seen a politician who's done more than that politician promised. So you've been such a big factor, and all of the people on the call right now, I just want to thank you for being with us and taking the time to listen to this today. And my people have great respect for you. I have great respect for you. And we've just started. So we've done a real job. And, you know, we have a lot of people against us. We have that phony Russian witch hunt, which is finally becoming discredited, because that's what it is. It's a discredited disgrace. It's not even constitutional in a lot of people's opinion, in my opinion, too. But we have, despite all of the forces we have against us, we're bullying through it, and we are really doing a job. And it's an honor to be with you on the call. And anytime you need me, we'll do another one of these, and we'll do them a lot. In fact, we should probably do them more often. But it's an honor to be with you, and I really appreciate your support. Going out for the election in 2018 is very important because, again, you have a lot of people that want to raise your taxes. They want to destroy our tax bill. It's a massive reduction that everybody's gotten in taxes. We've brought in trillions of dollars from business that couldn't get their money in. We have one-year expensing for business, including small businesses, and people are given bonuses all over the place. And frankly, you're just paying a lot less taxes. You see your weekly and monthly tax sheets. So I just want to thank everybody, and I look forward to speaking to you again, and we'll do it more often. Thank you very, very much, and keep up the hard work. The main point is to get out there in the midterms in 6 months. It's coming up very quickly. Some interesting elections tomorrow. Get out there and vote and make sure that we keep the House and we increase the Senate, because we should be able to increase the Senate by 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 seats, and that'll really help us. Thank you all very much. It's a great honor to speak to you. Thank you.